All right, and we are live with another WWE pay-per-view review. This time it's WWE Night of Champions. I'm here with your host Tony, with my co-host as always Dave. How are you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm good.
All right, well let's just jump right into this Night of Champions pay-per-view. It started off with the WWE Tag Team Championship on the line between the Usos and Gold and Stardust. I guess they cut Goldust's name down now to Gold, or they just kind of combined the two together.
Yeah, they've
And
been doing that a while lately where they'll say Golden Stardust.
yes, and this was actually a really, really good tag match between the four guys. A lot of back and forth action, a lot of high flying, a lot of stuff going outside of the ring. You want to get some thoughts on it, Dave?
Yeah, it was a good match. I mean, nothing to complain about. I mean, we all kind of figured it was kind of writing on the wall that it seemed like Gold and Stardust were being groomed to become the next champions. I mean, the way they kept getting over on the Usos and they looked injured throughout going into the show. So it just seemed it was a good match. I mean, the Usos, you thought were going to win for a minute, and then we got our little new champions.
Yes, and the new champions are Gold and Stardust. Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes. Stardust ended the match with a roll-up, kind of surprising roll-up on the Uso. I'm not sure which one it was, I can't remember, but yeah, they're your new tag team champions. The crowd was kind of over on them, even though they're kind of heel group, but it was nice to see a good match at the start of Night of Champions, and also, I guess, nice to see a title change. I don't know, it's a lot of people not over really on this group, Gold and Stardust. I don't really mind them too much.
I like them. I mean, I like Stardust, but when Cody transformed into Stardust, I really enjoyed this little stuff he was doing, and I really enjoy. I think when this was originally put together, honestly, I think we all agree with this that we thought it was gonna be some big joke where Cody was just gonna turn on Goldust, and it was gonna be some big swerve, and then it just got over like crazy. Everyone loved it in the crowd, and so they just stuck with it.
Right. I agree. I mean, Stardust is probably an unexpected hit. WWE probably didn't think that it would be over so much, and it is in the tag team group. I mean, I'm pretty sure they didn't think Goldust would be here this long.
No, and it's really benefited that for when they came back, what was it, last year, and they had this little thing with their dad coming when they won, like it was last year at Battleground, I believe, the Shield versus Cody Rhodes and Goldust, Cody Rhodes and Goldust, and they won. And now they transformed this whole thing with trying to find Goldust a new tag partner. And then it became Stardust, and it became like, wow, that's kind of cool. And then it turned into this.
Yes, and they're now your new tag team champions. I'm pretty sure we might see a rematch tomorrow night on Raw, or
I say Hell in the Cell. We'll get a rematch.
next
We
pay-per-view.
could get a match before then because it's like 5 weeks away yet. But I think there's going to be a lot of rematches at Hell in the Cell.
Most likely. So yeah, it starts off the night with the title change of hands with the new tag team champions of Stardust and Goldust. Next match of the night, we had Sheamus versus Cesaro for the United States title, and this match was really, really good. They tore the house down, I thought.
Agreed.
A lot of back and forth action, a lot of near falls, very physical match. I think Sheamus really gave it to Cesaro. I think the same thing back was Cesaro to Sheamus. It really looked like for a minute, Cesaro was going to pull out the victory, but Sheamus ends up getting the bro kick onto Cesaro for the 1-2-3. But I thought this was a really good match. What did you think, Dave?
I agree. I mean, this match was, dare I use the word awesome, because this match was right up there. I mean, it was a great match. And I think everyone knew it was going to be a good match, but I don't think we went into the match thinking like it was going to be this good of a match. And it was like this. It was a sleeper match that ended up being dare I say, the match of the night. I mean, honestly, because this match is really good.
Yes, I think it would definitely. I would give it match of the night because I mean, it was back and forth. I mean, yeah, sure, you could say, yeah, Sheamus was going to win, but you really didn't know for sure who was going to win, honestly. So you kind of came into the match with an open mind, saying, you never know who could win. And both guys gave it their all. I mean, there's not much more you could say about this match other than it was really, really good. And that you didn't expect it to be that great of a match coming into Night of Champions, that's for sure.
You know it would be a good match and a physical match because these two always put on physical matches. I mean, they have good matches, and, I mean, they both went all out, and they delivered. I mean, it really, I'm not sure if the next thing was what I think it is, but, man, they really killed them.
Yeah, next match of the night was the Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz, accompanied down with Damien Mizdow, also with our Ziggler. We also had some country group coming down the aisle with them. I forgot what their name was.
Florida Georgia Line.
Florida Georgia Line. Yeah, this match was good. I thought the match was good, but the commentary sucked ass. I mean, all they did was pretty much promote the music group and have them commentate on a match that they had probably never seen or known about before going to this pay-per-view.
This had Raw segment written all over it.
Definitely Raw segment. I understand they want the mainstream media or whatever to be noticed on, country music, or they'll talk about it on the country radio or whatever, but I just thought it was stupid. I just thought it was kind of shameful because The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, and as much as we hate on The Miz these past couple of months, this gimmick of him and Mizdow, if you want to call him, has been great. I thought they really play off each other really, really well. And I thought this storyline coming in was really, really well written, or it was going off really good. And then tonight they just shitted on it.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think, to me it kind of distracted me from the match a lot because all I kept hearing them talk about was their country album, and they're going to be part of Tribute to the Troops, which is good. I mean, they're going to be a part of that this year. I mean, but this is all about promoting their album, and they just kept talking about it and talking about it during the match, and you're kind of they're not even talking about the match at all. And it kind of took away from the match big time for me because I just couldn't really get into the match because I had to sit there and trying to watch and hear these guys kill the match.
Right. But let's get into the match itself. The Miz and Ziggler, really, really good match. Like we said, it was a lot of near falls. Ziggler did a couple of moves in the super kick and stuff like that. Miz had the figure 4 leg lock. It ended up coming down to where the Mizdow gets involved, Damien Sandow gets involved, distracts Ziggler, which then makes the Miz roll up Dolph Ziggler and pull the tights, and gets the 1, 2, 3, and Miz is your new IC champion. Dolph Ziggler held it for, I think, 2 months, if I'm not mistaken?
A month. He won it at SummerSlam.
Okay. Oh, yes, almost 2 months, a month and a half, I guess. Wow. Not really sure why they gave it to him just to lose it after that long, but
maybe that was the only reason. I mean, to continue a feud, to go into a Hell in a Cell again, another rematch we're going to get possibly. And one thing I hate about this is because I was just starting to, and I've criticized Dolph Ziggler a lot over the past year, and I was just starting to kind of like and get into Dolph Ziggler a little bit, and they go ahead and push him back. I mean, 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. I mean, not saying they're doing that with him right now, but it's it seems like they keep not wanting to push him, but then they push him backwards. Only having the title for, I'll go month to month from a pay-per-view to pay-per-view. He had it for about 30 days, technically, if you want to go month to month. I don't remember when, maybe a little over a month, but because I think SummerSlam was the 16th of August or 15th or something like that, but a little over a month. And it's why do you... I mean, this guy has so much potential, which I've been trying to get behind him a little more lately because I've enjoyed the stuff he's been doing. And it's why do you take a guy, the crowd is obviously behind him, and you take a guy and you just keep pushing him backwards. It makes no sense.
Right. It doesn't. And, you know, we'll probably, like you said, see a rematch probably at Hell in a Cell. Maybe tomorrow night on Raw, who knows. But other than the shitty commentary, it was a good match. Next we had what was supposed to be Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. You did not hear or lived under a rock these past couple of days. Roman Reigns had to have emergency hernia surgery, I believe, and is going to be out for quite some time. Not really sure the timetable of him being back, but they said he will be out for some time. But Seth Rollins ends up coming down to the ring. He brings up Roman Reigns and says, "You can be on top of the world 1 minute and not the next." He says emergency surgery is no excuse for not showing up tonight, and says that the ref will be counting to a count of 10, and if he does not come to the ring, he will forfeit this match, which of course Roman Reigns does not come down to the ring. Rollins after that accepts the win and also gives an open challenge to whoever wants to come down to the ring, and guess who it was? It was the surprise entry of Dean Ambrose. He is back. What did you think of this whole segment, Dave?
I really enjoyed it. I thought Rollins was so perfect on this whole thing, like emergency surgery is no excuse, and just some great heel stuff he did, and some great heat he got off this. And then, you know, it was perfect timing, not to say that Reigns got injured, but that Ambrose literally just finished filming WE Films. He literally just finished it, I think, like a week ago. So they got very lucky on the timetable. And it also made me wonder, too, if they knew Roman wasn't going to be able to wrestle this weekend. You know, if that's why they actually had the match on Raw. Because they knew he probably wasn't going to be able to make this Sunday.
This happened out of nowhere.
Yeah, but they said it was kind of bothering him for a while. And he knew something was going on. And then it just all of a sudden, I guess Saturday night or Saturday morning, it sort of like it just burst or whatever it was, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of odd that they would have that match on Raw out of nowhere and a clean match.
Right. Well, all in all, Dean Ambrose and Rollins go back and forth, go to the ring, go to the crowd, go onto the stage, everything. Security gets involved. Dean Ambrose jumps on the security. It was just out of control awesomeness. It was really good stuff. And I really, 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 really hope WWE really considers having 2 Hell in a Cell matches next month and throwing these guys in a Hell in a Cell match. I think that would be so great if they did that. Because that's what this match deserves. It deserves to be in a Hell in a Cell. Rollins and Ambrose, that is.
Yeah, but they use it, though. I mean, I would think those two guys would, but the way the WE is today, I mean, they don't. If they're putting the cell, it doesn't necessarily mean they ever really use the cell anymore. We see them do matches like that where they don't even use the cell at all.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't think they would go on top of the cage or anything like that, but I could definitely see them throwing each other into the cage and give the chance where Dean Ambrose can finally get his hands on Rollins without Rollins running or having someone come and help him win, like Kane or something like that.
That'd more likely happen, honestly. Kane would be in the cell too somehow, and then
I don't know if they would go that far, but I think that would be a pretty good match to have if it does go down eventually. But we'll move on from there.
I also wouldn't mind another match at Hell in a Cell, which we'll get into later.
Rusev versus Mark Henry. They pretty much played up this American storyline. They had Lillian Garcia sing the national anthem.
And Mark Henry even to the point where they had, which I know he was in the Olympics and stuff like that, and maybe possibly this wasn't part of the little cheap gimmick, but it really looked cheap and fake as heck when they had Mark Henry standing there crying.
Yeah, but I mean, he got emotional. It happens, but
I know, but it just made, to me, it almost seemed like it was forced and it wasn't real, you know. To me, that should have started the show, because having the national anthem play like almost halfway through the pay-per-view was kind of odd. If they would have started it like that, it would have made more sense.
I see what you mean. All in all, what did you think of the match?
It was okay. I mean, I was never a big fan of this little feud or match, because to me the feud, the rivalry, whatever you want to call it, between these guys was kind of forced. And it was like really just pushed together in like 2 weeks, and all of a sudden they're having some big match. Mm-hmm. And the way they ended it, which I'll let you finish, was just, I didn't like how they ended it either.
With him winning with the Rusev Crush?
Yeah, Mark Henry just taps out. And they played it up like, oh, I'm Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Well, they made it like, oh, he would never tap out. I mean, Jack Swagger, I think, passed out.
Well, they played up the whole him getting hurt, his back hurting.
I get that, but the way they did it, like, oh, Mark Henry's the world's strongest man, he would never tap out. And he just fastly seems like just taps out.
Right.
And it's like, okay, guess that feud's over.
I would imagine so. But it was all right, man. Rusev looked good. Looks dominant again. Everybody's saying the guy that's going to probably break the streak is John Cena.
Yeah, no.
Probably.
Cena's going to be the one to shake on Rusev next.
But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Next, we had another surprise good match of the night, which was Randy Orton versus Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Wasn't really feeling this storyline coming in, but this match was really good.
Yeah, it was close. It was the second match, good match of the night. I mean, I'm not saying all the other matches weren't good, but I mean, up to this point, before this match, okay, you're like, okay, we've had one really good match, which was Sheamus and Cesaro, and now we got I mean, I thought Orton and Jericho had a good match. The only part I didn't like was the ending. I hated it because it was so obvious. Jericho was like, come on, turn around, and then all of a sudden he gets hit with the RKO to lose the match. And it was like so obvious that that's what was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, when you see him stalling for so long, I mean...
He's just like, come on, turn around, and then all of a sudden he goes like he's going to hit a headbutt on him or something, and he's standing up.
Yeah. But I guess, other than if you want to kind of hit on the finish, it was a really good match. Orton wins.
Good match. I enjoyed the match. Yeah. The only thing I didn't like, besides the finish, is I would have loved to seen, because the rumors are going around that this was Jericho's last match, which they said that at SummerSlam too. So we'll see. But if that was truly his last match for a while, I would have liked to seen Orton punt and kick him and take him out, like something like that.
Yeah, he tried. He attempted it during the match, but he did not prevail. But other than that, it was a good match, and Randy Orton's your winner. Who knows what goes on with Randy Orton next? Title match, who knows? I mean, nobody knows. Next, we get I thought this was actually a really good match, this next one, and I'm going to have to give credit to one lady as well. The WWE Divas title match between AJ Lee, Nikki Bella, and Paige. Did you see this match? I saw you said that your network cut off.
It was started... after the match was over, it started messing up and it skipped out, and then it came back and then it started skipping again. But I was getting I'm sure I'm not the only one that happened to, but it happens. I mean, I basically had to turn my thing off and then like log out of the network, then log back in, and then it started working during the Cena match. But yeah, I mean, I agree. This Divas match was pretty good. One thing I didn't like though is Nikki Bella being involved, but she ended up not being that bad in the match.
I thought she was good.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. She ended up being not so bad in the match. I mean, she's nowhere near Paige and AJ's standards, but I mean, she actually didn't really make the match look bad. So,
and that bump in the match that she took was pretty good. A little suplex off the ring side or whatever onto to the mat. That looked pretty brutal. So she looked good. I think she finally playing up to her style of like the brawler type, not so much of like doing moves and shit.
If you want to say that. Yeah. When she put that armbar on Paige, it looked like she was really yanking on her arm too.
Yeah, that shit looked nice. But got to give credit where credit's due, and Nikki Bella has definitely been training hard, you could tell, and she's gotten a lot better in the ring.
I gotta tell you though, I was worried for a minute though. I was like, don't do this. Even though she looked good in the match, I'm like, don't put the title on her, please, because for a minute I thought they were about to do that.
Mm-hmm. And AJ Lee picks up the win with the black on the page. I was kind of shocked to see her win the belt back. So I guess not quickly, but yeah, I guess you could say quickly because she just lost it at SummerSlam. Now really what's next on the agenda? I mean, is Nikki Bella
rematch probably?
Paige gets a rematch. You know, I guess we will see and find out what goes on next, and probably tomorrow night on Raw or in the next couple of weeks. But yes, that match is really good.
Do you think at Hell in the Cell we see Nikki and Brie Bella in a match now too?
Yeah, I'd have to see. Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, I mean, and hopefully we just get Paige and AJ 1-1 because their SummerSlam match was really good, and I was really looking forward to this match too. But I mean, was Nikki only added to this match because of Total Divas? It's like makes you think that, you know.
Hmm.
But I mean, it was a good match. I mean, it went longer than I thought it would too, so it wasn't boring. So it was good. And screw you guys who are always saying better than Divas. These Divas kicked ass tonight.
Yes, they did. Let's get to the main event, which was Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. I thought this was a pretty good match. Brutal
Brock
match.
Wrestle. I mean, Brock does this. He throws you off unless it's them telling him what to do. But tonight, Brock Lesnar didn't just go in there to be some dominant beast, and he went in there and he put on a wrestling match.
Yeah, three amigos, German suplexes, elbows. I mean, John Cena looked better this match.
A couple times.
Yeah, John Cena got back at him a couple of times with some elbows and stuff like that. But let's get to the end of this match because it's a little controversy. People don't like it. People do like it. John Cena keeps putting the STF on to Brock Lesnar. He's not tapping out. He then does the FU, correct? Onto John Cena, to Brock Lesnar. He's going to put the STF back onto Brock Lesnar when Rollins jumps into the ring, hits John Cena with the briefcase, throws John Cena outside of the ring, which causes a disqualification. Seth Rollins looks like Brock Lesnar, ends up doing the curb stop on Brock Lesnar, which thing he goes outside of the ring, says that he's going to cash in his briefcase. He's trying to get back in the ring, and John Cena ends up interfering, causing Rollins to not be able to cash in successfully. And Brock Lesnar ends up F-ing John Cena afterwards. You said you didn't really care for it. Is that correct?
Yes, if they would have went ahead and had Rollins cash in on Brock Lesnar, which, like, wow, I was like, before I get to that real quick, I thought this match, Cena and Brock, was actually better than their SummerSlam match, and then I just didn't like that it ended on a DQ, but if they would have had Rollins cash in and beat Brock Lesnar, okay, that makes sense, because maybe Brock isn't sticking around until WrestleMania, you know, and then they have Rollins and Cena start a feud for the title. But I mean, the way they did it, and we only get to see Brock wrestle on pay-per-views, you know, and that's another big problem. Not saying I have a problem with that for Brock, but to have a match like that end in a DQ, and the guy only wrestles once a month for you, that just kind of like, why would you do it like that? Which I know they're going to start some type of feud, and they'll probably end up being, dare I say, John Cena and Brock Lesnar 3 months in a row. But it'll probably be in a Hell in a Cell, I would think.
The only way it won't be in a Hell in a Cell is, like I said, if they have Rollins and the Ambrose in it. You're not gonna.
I would think they would put this Hell in a Cell because
I think it'd be in a Hell in a Cell.
No one can interfere.
Right. That's the only way it probably can go. Is in the Hell in a Cell match at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. But
so you liked how they ended the DQ and everything?
I'm sorry?
You liked the DQ?
I didn't mind it because how else you're going to do this finish with John Cena?
You could have had Brock still beat him.
Yeah, then who's he fight next month?
Rusev.
No.
That's what everyone's calling for. That Rusev. I mean, I'm just saying that's. I mean, or you could have done it some way where Brock got disqualified because Brock broke his arm, or something. That's what I thought the route they're actually going to go. Brock was just going to break his arm and get. Well, that'd been still a DQ, but it would have been like. I don't know. I just didn't like the fact that Brock Lesnar wrestles, like once a month, and then you end one of the few matches people get to see him in a DQ. That's
I understand what you mean.
But I see what you're saying, because if they wanted Cena to still look strong, I mean, more than likely we're going to see some type of feud, you would think, with Rollins and Cena, since Cena or Brock isn't going to be there if they're going to have another match at Hell in the Cell. Which, I mean, yeah, Brock and Cena will be good at Hell in the Cell. I'm sure it will be. It'll be an occasion. We'll get a winner, actually. Hopefully it's not Cena, but... I mean, maybe they just don't trust anybody. That could come down to it right there. The WWE really has no one to put against Brock Lesnar, and that's what it's really coming down to. That is believable to actually go against Brock Lesnar.
Right.
Because who else could you put against him? I mean, that's another big question right there. I mean, there's really...
If they didn't throw Mark Henry in the storyline, Mark Henry...
I would want to see that.
I mean, it's a credible opponent. I mean, who else? Big Show? I mean, there's not really many people.
I mean, Sheamus, Orton's out there. I mean, because I could see Orton, you would turn Orton face, though, I think, and then have Orton take on Brock, which I think could be a good match.
Right.
But then you got to deal with what are you going to do after that?
Mm-hmm.
Really curious to see how they're going to... It's still months away yet, but I'm curious to see how they're going to do the Elimination Chamber, if the title would be on the line, and they're still a long time away. I mean, it's only September, but it just makes me think if Brock is keeping the title till WrestleMania, which, like you said, he is. So, I mean, how would they do Elimination Chamber? Would he even be in that match? And if he's not, what would be the point of even having the Elimination Chamber match?
I think he'll be in it.
That'll be interesting, I think. And we have heard rumors, which we're not sure if they're confirmed or not, but there's rumors going around that Daniel Bryan does not have to have surgery. And he could be back in 3 or 4 months, they're saying. So there's someone else coming back, and maybe by then Reigns will be back, hopefully, too.
Yep. So, I mean, we got a lot to look forward to in the next couple of months with WWE. But tonight's pay-per-view, I thought it was pretty good. I'd give it a pass. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good... I mean, $9.99. I mean, it's not like... And like they said tonight, if you paid $60 for this, you're an idiot. But, yeah, I mean, it was a good pay-per-view. I enjoyed the pay-per-view. I mean, was it worth $60 to have it end like that? No. But, I mean, I don't think that pay-per-view... Do you think it was worth $60, that whole pay-per-view?
Oh, definitely not.
Okay, yeah, but for $9.99, I mean, yeah, it was good. Can't complain too much about it.
Right. But, yeah, that's about it for our WWE Night of Champions review. We both had our, disagreements, but we both think it was a solid pay-per-view. We'd like to thank everybody for the solid views we've been getting in the last couple of videos. Never thought we would hit that many views on our videos, so we really do appreciate it.
Yes. I mean, NXT video, I mean, is close to 700 views right now. I mean, hey, it's the most we've had, and Raw last week is over 300, so, I mean, hey, thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Yep, and we will be back as well tomorrow night after Monday Night Raw with the Monday Night Raw review, and then we'll be back as well on Wednesday giving everybody our thoughts on the TNA pay-per-view. We weren't able to do one last week. Had an emergency come up, so we could not do it. But we will be back this week for an Impact review, and as everybody will know, we'll give everybody our thoughts and opinions on last week's show during the Impact review this week. But before we end, any last thoughts before we end this show, Dave?
Follow and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Hopefully, Raw should be good. There's been a lot of rumors going around that Next Generation is being teased, which we're not sure if that's going to mean stars are going to be coming, which there's rumors of that, or if it's just a video game tease and people are reading too much into it.
Yeah, so I guess that's something to look into tomorrow night on Raw. But from Dave and I, we will be signing off tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow night for our Monday Night Raw review. Thanks, everybody.